And welcome once again to your backstage pass for the Boscov's Berks Jazz Fest. My name is Jo Painter, and it is my pleasure to host this program on behalf of the Berks Arts Council, and thank you to the Berks Arts Council for making the backstage pass possible. This is the 27th year for the Boscov's Berks Jazz Fest, and there's some big changes and some new things happening. So I'd like to introduce you first to Craig Poole, the General Manager of the DoubleTree. Hi, Craig.
Thank you.
Nice
to be here today.
You know, and you're very busy. And I know you're pulled in a million directions, so thank you deeply for taking the time to come down and chat with us a bit. I have to tell you, I've been talking with a number of musicians, and they're talking about the South Jazz Parlor.
Right.
And that's going to be at the DoubleTree. What is that?
Yes, it is. Because it's a cool thing to do.
Oh, okay.
You know, John Ernesto, he figured it out. He knows how this thing works, and we've had a great relationship, and he knows my commitment to jazz and that I ran a jazz club. And we kind of did at another place that we had, but it was part-time, and this time is full-time for the kind of during the duration of the Jazz Fest. It's one more element of jazz venue to go to that's inside one place. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense because during the evening we're going to have the main event, and at the same time we're going to have the South Jazz Parlor event, and later on that night we also have the DJ playing.
Oh, so you have
jazz DJ. So
the DoubleTree's headquarters #1, really. That's the main venue for Boscov's Berks Jazz Fest this year.
We're very thankful for that. Yeah, we have 26 events that are going to happen at the DoubleTree.
There, last year, I was at one of the main events in your main ballroom. And I have to tell you, I mean, the hotel's fairly new. And so Jazz Fest it was a new venue for Jazz Fest, and people were really blown away with the DoubleTree and the amenities there and the comfort in your main ballroom. Right. So if you have not experienced it, make it a point to go to one of the shows at the DoubleTree this year.
When Mr. Boscov built the hotel and hired me, we took in consideration of doing the Jazz Fest there. So a lot of the ceiling heights, the acoustics in the room, how the electricity is laid out was already planned because we knew that this was a major economic impact to the region and a major economic impact to downtown Reading. What
does it mean for the hotel to be able to just plant a hotel in a city where this 10-day event takes place?
Well, it means a lot in those 10 days, but more importantly, it puts Reading on a map.
Right.
It puts Berks County on the map, and now with it being right in the center city of Reading, where jazz belongs in the city. It's a city. I always said it's a city sport. That now we're connecting our arms are reaching right out to Baltimore, to New York, to Philadelphia, to Harrisburg. And we're becoming more of their community. So when they have exposure and a good time and a good visit, they come back during other times during the year.
So you're saying it has a ripple effect beyond the festival?
Big ripple effect, yeah. I have friends now, a lot of friends, particularly some from Baltimore, that come up quite often to Berks County now because of the relationship that we've all built and because they've discovered the DoubleTree and they like the city of Reading. So they've been coming back and forth. So it's not just the 10 days. It's the 365 days of a year.
I saw an alert go out on Facebook from a friend who said, "Boy, the DoubleTree's the hot place." He comes up with a contingent from the Washington D.C. area, if you will, because this is his hometown. So he brings friends to explore his hometown, and they booked at the DoubleTree last year. And he's already made his booking, and he put the word out: get your reservations early because it's filling up.
Well, it's pretty. The weekends are just about full.
Yeah. So, the DoubleTree's headquarters, and it's in downtown Reading. I want to go back to the South Jazz Parlor, and I did not know that you and Mr. Boscov, before while you were planning with the architecture of the hotel, that you had the Jazz Fest in mind. How much of that came from your experience from running your own jazz club in Pittsburgh?
A whole lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, what was it important to bring?
Well, I had a jazz club for 17 years. It was rated one of the top 100 jazz clubs in the world. along with a couple jazz club. There was another jazz club in Philadelphia at the time that also was rated #1. So there was 2 out of Pennsylvania in the whole world. And so jazz is it's a sport of its own.
What do you mean by that?
Because it has its people, the people that come to jazz, who come to the jazz concert, they understand it. And I understand them really well because I made a living off of them.
Yeah.
I became #1 because they were there.
Right.
And they taught me to be #1. I didn't become #1 because I was. The jazz community taught me what I needed to learn to become successful. And it's a great opportunity for me personally to be able to work in a venue like that for those 10 days. It's almost like having my club again.
It's like a playground for you, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's a playground.
I sense that.
It's a big playground. Plus the big concert outside, plus all the other jazz things that are going on in the building. So we have this jazz community working for 10 days. And the excitement and the camaraderie between everybody, and the camaraderie between the musicians, because jazz musicians they're the big rock stars that are coming in, but most of them are very humble people. They don't require all this attention, and they don't require, they're humble and they want to mix. So when you're a star and you're a fan and you're in the same place with this energy, it's unbelievable amount of energy what they do. And they even play better because they're amongst their own peers.
That kind of makes, I hadn't thought about it, you couch it that way, but it kind of makes sense because jazz music itself is such a collaborative effort, and it's an innovative effort, in improvisation on the spot. Okay, now you, it goes through the band, and they're all doing their own thing, but that singular thing doesn't work without everybody else involved.
Right. And the cool thing about jazz is the audience is involved too.
Yeah.
Because you can feel the energy. It's that thick. And it's going to be a great time. If you can't get into the jazz club, if you can't get into the concert, you can get into the jazz club.
Oh, okay.
See, there'll be a couple shows in the jazz club almost at the same time that the venue is inside of the main theater.
Now, is the jazz club are there ticketed events in there
They are.
as well as?
They are.
Okay, they're ticketed events.
They're all ticketed.
Smaller venue, though, correct?
Smaller venue.
Which is
Intimate.
wonderful. You're really up close and personal with musicians.
Yeah, it's only 200 people.
Oh, so that's almost like they're having a conversation with you in the audience.
They are.
Very much
everybody is right on top, not right on top of each other, but right in that one room, playing just to maybe 200 people. So it's pretty intimate.
So when people come from out of town, or even just from the outlying area, to Reading for the Boscov's Berks Jazz Fest, 27 years strong now, when you have a good experience, like you're describing, it leaves a good taste in their mouth, and then they come back.
It's the best.
Yeah?
It's the best. When you see people leaving, and they want to come back, and they can't wait to get reservations for next year. You see that, and you think, gosh, we helped make them happy. We helped make Reading happy. We helped make just this whole world right now. It's like it's in the right orbit when it's going on. And it's an emotional thing.
Yep.
I have to tell you, even if you didn't like jazz, you should come watch the people.
Yeah, it is great for that.
And watch the connection, and watch how people are loving one another, and watch there's not a bad vibration anywhere. It's all good vibration. And the other great thing about it is everybody's equal. You can't be too rich, too poor, too educated, too uneducated, because jazz is about that spirit. So nobody's better than anybody, nobody's worse than everybody. Everybody is there under the same, like one person, one mission, one vision, following this jazz venue that's continuously going. Right. The energy is spectacular, just spectacular.
There aren't tiers of influence. Everybody is together for one thing.
The coolest thing about jazz is you can be, maybe you didn't finish high school and maybe you went to Harvard.
Yeah.
But people who follow jazz are equaled. And when they sit in that room, it's an equal thing. It doesn't matter what nationality you are, what your age is. People relate to the music, not to the worldly things that are going on. And I think we need that today with all
Oh,
this,
more than ever.
what just is
More
going
than
on
ever.
with all the elections and the meanness of it. This will wash it away for at least, hopefully forever, but for 10 days, it'll wash it away.
You know what? It's often too a perception buster because there's lots of perceptions and lots of things you hear. But come experience it. Experience it at the DoubleTree in downtown Reading, and you walk away with this energy that you describe, and you're going to
will.
want to come back again.
And the great thing is, not only is it at the DoubleTree, but it's at the Santander and the Miller Center. So it's very tight, and Building 24. It's getting tighter and tighter around a nucleus of, so it's not overly spread out around the city. It's getting tighter in the city, and the city needs that. And it has the ability, hopefully somebody will come here and say, hey, I want to build a jazz club, or I want to build a blues club. I'm hoping for that. And I'll even go further than that. I'm expecting someone soon to step up when they see this and how it changes it and how diversified jazz is, that someone will say, I want to open up a jazz club here.
And when you do,
come see me.
pick Craig's brain because
Yeah.
he's done that.
Yeah, I saw
That's
a place
perfect.
already, and I walked in it. When I walked in the Reading Railroad, and someone showed it to me, I called my wife and I said, how would you like to own a jazz club again? And she said, no more. I said, this would make a perfect jazz club. I said, if we could lease this, I could start a jazz club downtown Reading. And she said, yeah, no more. We're
Yep.
done. But we will help somebody become a jazz club or a blues club or.
And that's a heck of an offer out there. So I would take
we
Craig
would
up
love
on
you
that.
to be successful, and it's needed.
It
And
is
people are
needed.
coming downtown. You know, people say, who's coming downtown? Well, we had over 500,000 people come to the DoubleTree the first year open. So people are coming downtown. There's a reason to come down. It will economically, this one event coming up will economically change somebody's mind, because it's on the mind now of coming downtown and opening up with John Weinhammer and with all the other things that are going on here. People want to develop.
Come experience it. It's the 27th annual, and there are the dates, March 31st through April 9th, the Boscov's Berks Jazz Fest. Experience it at the DoubleTree. Craig, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your time.
And come and see me. I'll be walking you down the hall, sharing the
True
joy.
story, true story.
Sharing the joy. Thank you.